Heard from above are the words of a righteous man of God. His words are not his own, but he utters what his Father, who is God, has said. He does not speak carelessly, because he knows that, like Prophet Samuel, none of his words fall to the ground. Jesus, being aware of this truth, always spoke the opposite of what others said, because he knew the weight of his words. To the people who declared death over a girl, he spoke otherwise. He said, "Go away, for the girl is not dead, but sleeping." And surely the girl arose. In another instance, a centurion came to Jesus asking that his servant may be healed. And Jesus said unto the centurion, "Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee." And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. A righteous man of God understands who he is, who his God is, and what his God is capable of. He understands that when he speaks a word, God backs it up. His words are alive and moving, and are capable of moving mountains into oceans, and can cause trees and shrubs to dry up, and his words calm storms. His words are God's words. He does not speak with doubt, but he speaks with confidence in his God, in the knowing that God has said, "Decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee." Elisha, being a prophet and a mighty man of God, also understood the weight his words carried. He knew that in his speaking, it was as God was speaking himself, and with confidence questioned the Shunammite woman who had perceived him to be a man of God, and gave him a place to stay. "What is to be done for thee?" Her response was, "I dwell among my own people." She might have seemed to not want to bother the man of God with her issues, or might have thought she has passed the time of God's help, or even that she was satisfied with what she had. But the man of God saw otherwise. He felt it was his duty to bless her for her kindness, so he asked his servant what she lacked, and he reported, "She had no child, and her husband is old." Hearing this, the man of God prophesied and declared to her, "About this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son." And the woman conceived and bare a son at that season that Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. A man of God speaks without fear and without doubt in what he has said. He knows that he is a man God, and like his God, the words that go out of his mouth will not return to him void, but it will accomplish that which he pleases, and it will prosper in the thing where he sent it. He fully understands that, like Christ Jesus, who is God, he can send his word and cause healing and deliverance. A man of God's words carries power and the ability to cause change both spiritually and physically. And because God's words have become his, when he speaks, it is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Matthew 8:16. That evening they brought to him many who were oppressed by demons, and he cast out the spirits with a word, and healed all who were sick. It was by the words that healing and the casting out of demons were done. The words of Jesus the man had to be submitted to God, in order that through submission to God, his words would cause change through the demonstration of God's Spirit and power. Without God, nothing of this sort could be done. With man it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Jesus is God, yet he is also a man. His humanity had to surrender to the divinity of God, in order that God will be with his mouth and teach him what to say. This is also why he said, "I must be about my Father's business." It is telling us that Jesus had to live a submitted life to the will and purposes of God, so that through the man he is, God could speak and show the power of his Spirit, so that when he opened his mouth, life springs forth, to the effect that the dead are raised, just like Lazarus, who was dead, and he said, "Lazarus, come forth." And he that was dead came forth. Jesus was confident and did not worry what to say because he knew it was the Spirit of his Father, who is God, speaking through him. Matthew 10:20. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. He knew and understood that he should do as his Father does, speak as he spoke, and effortlessly things would change. Demons would listen, storms calmed, and illnesses healed because he spoke as God.